The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to start out the show like we usually do with the German DAX. As you can see here, it's in this really tight trading range. It'll come out of here very quickly, I would imagine. The direction, I am not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. The next one we want to take a look at is the FTSE, and you'll notice here we have pretty much the same thing. We've been in a 3 or 4 day trading range. This has been in a downtrend even more pronounced than in the DAX. Whether that means anything or not remains to be seen. I'm not going to spend any time today about the stock market. I think you folks that have been listening all week know how I feel about that, but that's neither here nor there. The one thing I do want to mention today, folks, two things. First of all, that we have Norm Winski is going to be our guest at 9:30. We've got a full moon coming up here on the 26th of August, which is Sunday. Tomorrow is the anniversary date of the high from 1987, which was harmonic convergence. So we'll pay close attention to it. This full moon is very, very important because it is Women's Equality Day. I understand that's the only day of the year that the men get a day off, but I'm not sure about that. I'll have to double check. And oops, ow, don't hit me again. Anyway, we'll take a look at that as we go on. The next thing we want to talk about here is in the den, we have Mr. Z always giving us some great information. And a couple of days ago, he was talking about the December coffee. It was a nice pattern down there. Those of you that look at the 24/7 newsletter, right at $100, it was really a beautiful 3-drive pattern, making a triple bottom on the long-term weeklies. We're now trading above 103 in the coffee. So if you're in that, I would think that you would have a break-even stop now, because it goes down and makes a new low. I don't think that would be the thing to do, because that's a pretty substantial move in coffee, especially coming off this bottom. Whether that means anything or not, we'll have to take a look at it, and we'll see what's going to happen after this. But we'll have to do one thing at a time. But we want to thank Mr. Z for that, along with some of the other great trades that he posts. Other folks post trades, but in the room, but not as much as he does. He archives them and brings them up and shows you when he did it right and when he did it wrong. And that's the key of what we're looking at. Folks, something big happened overnight. There was a change. Well, it happens all the time. It was a change in the Australian people, what do they call that dude anyway? The Prime Minister. And if you'll notice here, we focused on this just last week because we had a beautiful bottom, big ABCD pattern, the exact 1.618 down there at 72. The market rallied up to about 73.5, and then the news came out that Mr. Turnbull was heading into the junkyard. They're going to bring out a new prime minister, and so Scott Morrison came in, and that was supposed to, by listening to Bloomberg and CNBC, put the Australian dollar into the sewer, making new lows. But lo and behold, look what happened to the Australian dollar. It backed off to a 78% retracement and is now up near trading the 73 level again. So this market is taking bad news, if in fact that is bad news. I don't know if you've changed the prime minister 6 times in 11 years is bad. That's probably something that we might try over here. Instead of letting senators have, 4 terms or something like that, maybe limit it to 4 years, limit everything to 4 years. But, that's beyond my pay grade, but we'll look at this a little bit later as we move on. Folks, I've only got a short period of time this morning because Norm has such great information, but those of you that follow the corn market, there's going to be an interesting pattern forming here today. I'll get it up here so you can take a look at it. We're right over the time of the full moon. We're in that zone here. This is Friday. It's due to come in on Sunday, so anytime it could come in. The pattern's going to complete here at 360. We've been to 360.5 so far overnight. It's come down very hard this week, much as we expected, but this is the first ABCD in a bull market, if this in fact is a bull market, and we don't know. We made a 3-drive to a bottom pattern back on July, and now here we are 6 weeks later, and we're testing the situation here in the corn. So it's going to be really interesting to watch. And there's going to be several others that are doing the same thing. Now, the soybean market just gave up the ghost. Hold on, folks. The folks here at the old commodity markets are telling me that something big is happening, and that's our gold. It is moving higher. We assumed that was going to happen. We're getting above 1,200 bucks now, folks. If we close above 1,202, let's just bring this up here in this gold. You'll be able to see here what we're looking at. We had a beautiful harmonic number correction in here. Just give me a second so I can put it up so you can see it. But we've got a really good chance here for the gold market to have some legs here. We're right at the 61% retracement of this whole move down. Let me move this over a bit so you can take a look at it. And but this, you know, we've been saying this for quite some time. It's got some real legs here, I believe. Any move above this 1203 level would tell us that we're most probably getting ready to go a little bit higher. Last night, the key to this market was we went down and took out the previous day's low by about $2. We stayed there for, you know, basically a heartbeat. And then once we got above that 1196, that was telling you that it most probably had a good opportunity to go a lot higher, and that's what we're doing. We happen to be extremely bullish and also long in both gold and the silver, and silver's acting a little better too. So whether these work or not, we don't know, but they're just patterns. That's all they are. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. If you'll remember, we were talking about soybeans here the other day, and we had a really nice pattern in soybeans, and it didn't work out the way we thought. So let's just take a quick look at this here. The same pattern is happening in wheat as is happening in corn, but that's neither here nor there. Hopefully I thought for sure I saved that thing for the soybeans, but evidently I didn't. Shut the front door and raise the rent, but we'll cover it another time, not to worry. But we've got Norm coming in, and that's really important to listen to what Norm has to listen to. Where is this thing here? Doggone it. Well, not to worry. Let me get this back up here, and we'll not worry too much about this. Okay. All right. Let's take a quick look here at the banking index. We've been watching this one for quite some time. They had really good news this week. We're not able to make new highs, so we're getting some divergence here in the banking index. As long as we don't get above that 112 level, this has a potential, you know, to move to the downside. Now, whether it'll continue that way or not, we don't know, but nobody else does either, and that's the key to this. You got to pay attention to what the charts are doing. That's the main thing. And when we get back, we really need to talk about this next market that's been highlighted by several people, and this is a chart sent to me this morning by our good friend Rich Anderson from Anderson Capital Management and Cy Monley from Sylvius Financial. We want to talk about this thing that we have going on here in Treasury bonds right now. So 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
All right, we're back, folks, and I've posted a chart from our good friend Rich Anderson of Anderson Capital Management. And then right behind that, I posted the chart of the 30-year Treasury bond. The first chart shows that the net speculators, the small specs, are very, very heavily short the treasuries. And I don't know how they defined a small speculator, probably someone with 20-year contracts less in their position. But the long side of the market is held by the long speculators. These are usually the commercials. So this could mean that we're looking at a short squeeze. This is the reason why I put the daily chart of the treasury bonds in here. We covered that yesterday with Mr. Z. We were up in that area of 145.24, which is a very important quadruple top that's been here for 4 days. We've now backed off 20 pips, which is the harmonic number between 20 and 22 pips in the treasury bonds. As long as we don't get below 144.29, this still has a possibility to go higher. All we're looking at is a correction much like we had during the 19th and 21st of August, because that pattern that we're looking at 47 and change is a 147 and change is just a beautiful head and shoulders pattern with an objective sitting right there. Now, it might not make it, and if we go below the 144 level, one full handle from where we are right now, I would assume that this upside pattern is not going to be reached. But until that happens, we have to assume that this has the possibility of going up to that level. And that could very easily do it, because if the stock market for some reason would actually turn down, bad quotes or whatever, that could mean a flight to quality, and then we'll see if things are going to go higher from that level. I noticed yesterday that the Italian bonds, the 10-year Italians, were setting at the the yield of 3%, very similar to what we're looking at in our 10-year. And folks, how can they equate Italian paper to our paper? They must not have a very good feeling about our commercial paper. That's the way it looks like to me. Now, we started this week with one particular thing in mind that we were watching very, very closely, and that was the crude oil market. We felt that this was the market that had a really good chance for rallying. If you'll notice the daily chart that we posted here, we were looking at a perfect 61% retracement off of the February low. It was absolutely spot on. We had a beautiful 3-drive pattern with 2 ABCD patterns coming in at that $64 per barrel and change level. And here we are, we're approaching the $70 a barrel today. We're just cleared the 6,900 level. So we'll see if that's it. But that was a very bullish pattern, folks. It was oversold coming in with 3 major ratios, 3 nice patterns coming together. And those are the kind that you like to see. And that's what I'm looking at in the stock market. I'm seeing multiple patterns. You know, they fail, of course, but that's what I'm looking at. Whether it's going to be right this time or not, I don't know, but stay tuned. Try to get a copy of this week's newsletter. I'm going to spend a whole day on it tomorrow getting it ready, because I think it's got some really interesting things that build a case for maybe a sell-off of 2%. That's a little tongue-in-cheek joke, but we'll watch that over the weekend to see what's going on. We've got some really interesting things in the stock market, of course, but we'll not worry about that. Let's just talk here about the euro. We've had this really nice move in the euro. We stopped pretty much where we were supposed to. We're now rallying again with some pretty good move. You'll put this up here so we can see, you know, this last move we had, we backed off almost 90 pips, which was, you know, pretty good. It took, actually, it took a day and a half to do that, and now we're coming back strong to see if we're going to get above that level. That will also be affecting the gold and the silver and maybe some other commodities. The sugar, someone's asked a question about the sugar. We've talked about the sugar making a major bottom down here at the $10 level. We got as low as $10.91. We're now trading above $10.30. If you were to buy that sugar like we suggested at 10 bucks, you know, put your stop below the low at $10.91 and let her rip. That way you're only risking less than $100, which is a contract that's worth well over 11,000. So this is a very, very low risk on a profit potential that could be, you know, 4 or 5 times that without any trouble at all. So these are the things that we try to look at here at TFNN, is to quantify what the risk is going to be and then go from there. We've got the full moon coming in, which should be a bottom in these grains. I mean, it's making a Gartley pattern, which is going to be a retest of the old lows. So watch that Christmas corn at 360, and on that you wouldn't have to risk more than a nickel, $250. So you become a farmer. You don't have to own the land. You don't have to buy the equipment. You don't have to go to the bank to borrow money. You just put up about $600 or $700 for margin and let her rip. And if it's right, it could have $1,000 in it without any trouble at all. The soybean market has gotten absolutely tanked. We thought we were going to have some support there at 872. We went through that like it didn't even exist, which is pretty much what happened. We went all the way down to the 853 level and have continued to stay at that level. So the beans have broken major support and major patterns, whereas the wheat and the corn are still hanging in to really strong technical patterns, along with some great ratios that are there. So I think it's important to pay attention to those today, because it's got a really good chance here, you know, to have a pretty good rally. We've been asked to take a look here this morning at copper, the metal, and we'll bring this up to let you see here. We had a pretty nice bottom form at the 1.618 expansion at 255. That was back on the 15th when we bottomed in gold. That was a 1.618 expansion going way back into the early July. Then we rallied up to the old support, which was at 270. We pulled back yesterday to a perfect 61% retracement level at 262 a pound. We've had a pretty good rally of about a nickel a pound into that. And if this starts to move higher, we're looking at an ABCD structure here in copper that will take this up to just about the 277 level, about 9 handles from where we are right now, and that's just shy or just a little more than $2,000 contract, and the 262 level should hold given the fact that we came out of here relatively strong this morning, but we'll wait and see if that's going to unfold. Folks, we never know what's going to happen next, but that's a good thing because nobody else does either. The only thing that you can control when you're trading are the two things, and the one is the amount of risk that you have, and the second thing is your emotion, and that's the most difficult one to control. And when you're watching the machine and you're watching the amount of money that you're making or losing, that does not help your control. Believe me, that's the case. We're asking a question here this morning about what's the upside on sugar. Again, I don't know, but my first target on this would be 1150. That's up about $1,500, a little more. It's about $1,700 off the bottom if it does that. And the key that I'd be watching here on sugar, if it comes out here really strong, you got to raise the target. If it comes out here slow, we'll keep that target. 877-927-6648. Stay tuned for Norman. Call it by the minute, Winsky.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Back, folks, and we have Norman Full Moon Winsky from Florida on the line today from Astro Trend. Norm, how are you today, buddy?
Good, Larry. Thanks for having me on your show.
It's my pleasure. Do you want to go ahead and start and tell us what you're looking at? We have a full moon due here on Sunday. Is that correct?
That is correct. We got some other things happening, other big things happening too. But
okay,
first, I would like to review with the forecast that I saw on your show last Friday to talk about some important planetary events that occurred over that weekend. So we're going to go back and see. I believe you're going to forecast things, and you should follow up and show how it all came out. So one of my principles is when the planets change, when the planets get to an extreme in one of their cycles, that's a change in trend. And what we had after the close of Friday over the weekend, we had Venus get to what's called maximum elongation. This is the maximum distance if you were to look out from the point of view of the Earth, how far Venus is from the Sun in terms of longitude. And so that we got to that maximum point on that. That indicated you should look at your Venus markets, such as cattle, copper, cotton, stock, sugar, and wheat. We also have when the planets, from the relative motion of the Earth to the other planets, we look out in the sky. This is one of my top things when the planets look like from the point of view of the Earth, that they stop their motion and reverse the direction, like you might have heard of retrograde or direct. And so Mercury had been going retrograde and backwards from how it looked from Earth for 3 weeks. And then over the weekend there, we had Mercury turn and what's called direct. In other words, it stopped and turned to go forward again. And then we want to look at your Mercury-related markets. And also, since it was in Leo, anything related to Leo, it's corn, gold. We're not going to pay attention to oats or OJ probably because nobody cares. Soybean, stocks, and wheat. Then we also had over the weekend, we had, keep in mind, direct and retrograde, very important for the stock market and these markets. We had Jupiter in Scorpio do a 120-degree angle to Neptune in Pisces. That would indicate cocoa, hogs, oats, oil, stocks, and T-bonds. So now we're going to go over these charts by order of what list they're on. We got 3 lists here. Here you go, your very first one. Here's your cattle. And I said, watch for an extreme in the markets here. If they get to an extreme at these designated dates, then you want to watch for a change in trend, usually a reversal in price. And there you go on your cattle chart. You see my little green arrow there. That was on that Monday, the 20th. It's a bullseye, Larry. I think it might have gone a few ticks higher the next day on the Tuesday there, but that was pretty close to the top there on the cattle market, right? All right, so here's your copper. Copper worked out as a day early. Copper was also a day early. Your top came on that Tuesday. So if I'm right within a 1 day, that's a winner. And if it's a close in price, obviously if there's a big move between my entry date and where it turns, then I'd count that as a miss. Here's your cotton, also a day early. Several of these markets were a day early. I know I guess it was bad communications with Venus and the Earth that day. Took extra day.
Was it Mercury retrograde during that time?
Mercury had just turned direct over the weekend. That's what we're going to be looking at those markets too. That's this second list here, right?
Okay.
Okay. Yep. And now we're looking at the S&P, and again, it was a day, took one more day. We topped on Tuesday, not on the Monday, which, by the way, was Mercury turning direct, which if you go back to look at when the last time last several times the planets turned direct or retrograde, we had the 7th of August was the top, previous top in the stock market. That was Uranus turning retrograde. And the previous one before that was July 25, 26, when Mercury turned retrograde. So if you're not paying attention to these, you're missing out big time on when to be able to forecast when these markets are going to turn. This is one of the top things I have when the planets turn direct or retrograde. Okay, so and it's simple. You can go look this stuff up on Google. It's all objective.
We can listen to you. Why do we have to listen to Google?
No, I'm just making the point that it's all objective scientific information. I'm not making this stuff up.
Oh, I know Google could give us fake news, but not fake news with Norm. So keep it up, buddy.
There you go. Oh yeah, I'm just making it's all objective information. That's all, right?
Okay.
All right, anyway, so occasionally I have a miss, Larry. Oh, my God. Here you go. Here's sugar. Sugar did not behave nicely, so there we go. It took 2 days for the sugar to turn around. And that's outside my parameters, so if sugar got sent to the principal's office there, we got a red arrow there for a miss. Here's the wheat. Wheat did nicely. Look at that. That's right on the mark there. That was the high on the wheat. Right on that Monday. You see that?
Mm-hmm. That's spot on.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to have somebody ask somebody in the den there if they could pay attention to whether we're winning or losing on these charts, maybe to give a rough estimate on here's your cattle. Looks like we got 2 handles there. That's a profit. So about $800. This copper is a small profit maybe right now, slightly in the green. This one here, cotton, you'll see you went up at a handle against you and then back down, and now we're probably maybe up a handle, so that'd be like $500 plus. S&P went maybe 10 handles against you, and then now we're up as of last night's close. Just look at the S&P cash. Maybe you're up 10 handles overnight. Of course, on the futures, that next day after the top, we were down about 25 handles, so you had a potential to make even more.
One of our dinners says he's going to look at the results of this, and since his brother-in-law is an attorney, he'll be back with you shortly.
Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, go ahead, Arm.
I was looking more for an accountant rather than an attorney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe just get a rough estimate if I'm helping folks make money or not. All right. Anyway,
asking for you, so you must be doing something right. It's like the restaurant business. You're only as good as your last meal, and like we say, the first day you're wrong, you're history, and you're doing okay so far.
Yeah, that's just don't go to the cannibals restaurant, right? Because then they really have you.
Norm, you promised me no more Rodney Dangerfield jokes. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no.
All right. Anyway, so you had probably took a small loss here on the sugar. Maybe a half not even a half a handle or less than a quarter, probably a couple $100 probably. You can see it barely chipped out these lows there, like 2 days after my date. Here the wheat was beautiful. You're looking at about 680 area, I think. Does that look about right to you? Mm-hmm. And then you drop to wait, is that right? 6. What do you think, Larry? Was that 5? Can you read that?
538.
No, we're the high. Oh, 580. 580. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
About 580. Now we dropped to about 530. So that's about 50 cents. So that's roughly $2,500 potentially a profit on the wheat. Right. Here's your corn. Pretty much the same thing. And got that nice top there. And you were at 380 area, and now you've dropped to about 360.
Okay,
so that's 20 cents. That's $1,000 on the corn.
We got to pay a few bills, and then we'll be right back with Norm Winsky of Astro Trend.
Yes, sir.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays. We broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Norm Winsky of AstroTrend. Norm, we have a question from one of our listeners here at TFNN, and that is, you talk about the 24th of August as Mercury being maximum elongation east. Can you explain to me and the other listeners what that means?
It has to do with the relative position here, looking at here on Earth, where how far Venus, in terms of how far apart on the big circle. You know, we're looking out from the solar system here, from here on Earth. So it's geocentric from the point of view of the Earth. How far Venus never gets more than, I think, about 45 degrees from the sun. So that's what it is. So when it's maximum elongation, it's at that 45-degree angle. And then, so, the sun, Venus, you almost always see Venus either near sunrise or sunset, and it kind of oscillates back and forth. It's oscillating back and forth, where it's ahead of the sun or behind the sun, you see, and so it's at that maximum point. Did that do it?
Yeah, that's good. Now, Venus is the morning star, right?
Morning star and sometimes the evening star. That's the point I just made. You're going to usually see Venus if you see it near sunrise or sunset.
Okay,
sounds like a
that
song.
makes very good sense. We have one other question, and we'll move on, but that is, back in 1987, on the 25th of August, we had a thing called harmonic convergence, and as I recall, there were 5 planets in Leo and a whole bunch of stuff happening.
No, they were all in Virgo. If you think about it.
Oh, Virgo, okay. Oh, well, yeah, the 25th of August had to be Virgo, yeah, right.
Exactly, right. Okay, so I want to get through this, and then maybe we'll open it up for questions, okay?
You bet.
Okay, there we go. So we're reviewing now. We're at gold. I was 2 days early on the gold. That's a miss. Okay, here's your soybeans. Perfection here on the beans. You're selling it there near the highs a week ago. And now, as you mentioned earlier, we've come down quite a bit. So there's a beautiful trade there. It hit it to the day. Here's cocoa. Here's the cocoa has been going down, down, down now for several months. And you made a low in early August. Then you had classic textbook basing action here, and then we made a double bottom right there on the Friday the 17th and Monday the 20th, and then it took off. I hope your friend in Philly jumped on the hot cocoa here, and it's been going up. All righty, there we go. He's famous for the cocoa trade, right? All right, here's your hogs. Look at that. The hogs are, this is a funny story. So last Friday, I looked at this thing and said, well, the stars say the hogs are due for a change in trend here. But look, they just broke out of this beautiful base here. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable going short the hogs there. Well, I let my brain jump in there and speak rather than going with the stars. And what do you think, Larry? Was Norm right, or were the stars right?
The stars right, stars 1, Norm 0, but that's okay. You'll come back strong, not to worry.
There's a lesson there. There's a lesson there that the stars know more than anybody. You know?
I was going to say, I was afraid to ask what it was going to be, but go ahead, Norm.
That's it. You know, that's it. You know, just do the system, and you'll win. You know, a high percentage of time. So far, I think I've hit about 6 out of 8 of these. You know, something like that, or higher. You know. Hopefully, somebody's keeping track there in the den for me. All right, there we go. Here's your crude oil. Crude oil was a miss. I was off a couple days late there. It didn't even seem to relate. I was hoping back last Friday we get a little pullback, but we never got the pullback, so I probably wouldn't have done anything there. I didn't like the setup, you know. Here's your T-bonds. You just talked about the T-bonds, and they just kind of went up to my date there, but went sideways, and then kind of gradually went a tiny bit higher, so that was a miss. You would have maybe taken a small loss on that one, on the T-bonds there. And now we get to look ahead. This is what everybody wants. So now we got 3 things happening over the next several days between now and about Tuesday. We got Mercury there. We just talked about maximum elongation. Mercury's going to do that over the weekend here. So Mercury markets are corn, soybeans, stocks, and wheat, because it's something's happened. Wheat. Okay. And then we also have the full moon in Pisces. And so we want to look at oil because that's Pisces. And your usual suspects are financials, greens, and precious metals. And then we have Mars turning direct. There's one of those things again that they've been calling the tops and the bottoms of the stock market at a very high percentage of the time. That's coming up on Monday morning, right after the full moon. So I expect the markets to get to some kind of extreme on Monday. But guess what? My other top thing is when the planets get to 0 latitude. As the planets go around and around the sun, like horses on a carousel, not only do they go around and around, they go up and down. And when they get to that midpoint, that 0 latitude, that seems to be just as powerful as when the planets turn to go direct or retrograde. And that'll be on Tuesday. So sometimes when they're close together like that, you get 2 of these big things close together. Sometimes they kind of cancel each other out. And sometimes they, pile on and make it even bigger. So sometimes you just get a whipsaw. If they get in sync with each other, then you could have a really huge move, big top, big bottom, but I'm expecting some wild and crazy moves here in the next few days. Here's a couple of markets we haven't covered yet. Since they got the full moon coming up, I've told you before that the currencies, like the grains, love the moon. The currencies turn a great high percentage with the full moons, new moons. There you go. You got the dollar kind of working its way lower toward the bottom of this channel. I'd like to see the dollar move down just a tad more and down toward the bottom of this channel. Then you could make a nice low on the dollar. The euro, as you know, is like a mirror image of the dollar. And so it'd be nice if the euro would go up to the top of its channel here in the next day or so. And then you'd probably have a nice top in the euro. Is this in harmony with what you're thinking, Larry, or not?
Well, I believe that the euro's got a chance here if we can get above the 116 level to really have a pretty good run. But so far, 116 has held it. So we'll just have to.
Well,
I think you wait till Monday because we got all this stuff coming in, especially with the full moon. I think Monday would be the key time to watch it.
Okay, the top of this channel seems to be about 117 on your September futures. All right, here you go. Here's the only market I haven't covered now, coffee. Mars is going to turn direct in Capricorn. And like I don't know if you remember Mrs. Olson or not on TV, she said the coffee is mountain grown.
That's during the Eisenhower administration.
Maybe or more like Carter and Reagan. But anyway, Mrs. Olson told us that the coffee is mountain grown. That's Capricorn. And that's what works. So there you go. And so there we go. We're looking at the coffee here. It'd be nice if you want to buy, if you're bullish on coffee, because it's been coming down so much. You think it's on sale here. You'd like to see it come down a little bit. So you wanted it to go down to the bottom of the channel here by about Monday. So, if it goes down, then we're all set to go up, If we continue rallying, like you indicated, get back to this little trend line here, we might be putting in a short-term top. If that happens, then we have some big stuff happening for coffee in early September, which could be a long-term bottom. If we could go up and then come back down, that could be an even bigger deal. Okay, so now I can entertain maybe one or two questions.
Okay, the first question we have is anniversary dates. We have this anniversary date of the 87 top. Anything that you look at on anniversary dates?
Not really. I use more of Gann's math method where you look at key harmonics. Some numbers have special properties. Gann loved the square numbers. We had two of those this week, one of which nailed the top on Tuesday. It was I could be off a little bit. 63 squared days. That's I forget how many thousands a day. One of them was 3,636. Was it 3696 or something like that? It was a square number from a major turn. The two turns were October 11th, 07 and March the 24th of 2000. Had harmonics for this week, one of which nailed the top there on Tuesday.
Okay, now stay with us, Norm, because we have one more question, and you can tell the folks how they can reach you.
Okay.
If you'll be so kind. Would you have that much time left?
Certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. We're talking with Norm Winski. I have one question, Norm, and then we can listen to your place where you can visit with you. What about Gann using Mars? He's asking a question. Wasn't that an important planet for?
I think Gann was an astrologer and uses all the planets.
Okay. Well, his question.
Okay, so I just want to recap how these folks can find the best winning trades, and that is these markets I've indicated here for the next few days. If these markets get to some extreme, that's where you're going to get the best risk reward, and probably the best bang for your buck, when you get one of these designated markets at the right time, get the market to an extreme, and you're usually often at the top or the bottom of the channel, then it's probably going to reverse and you're going to have a nice move. Okay. All right. Let's talk about how these folks can learn more. So I offer a free class. That's right. Free. Based on my 50 years of working at this, including I was 12 years on the Chicago exchanges there. I was on the CBOE and Chicago Board of Trade as risking my own money. I was not a broker, never brokered. Always risked I was a market maker on the CBOE, a local on the Board of Trade, risking my own money. I survived for 12 years there. And my third, it got to be 1987. I thought we were going to have the 29 stock crash. So I decided to sell all my memberships and go get out of there. And I was getting old in my 30s, there, Larry. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to share a 6-hour class with you, individual class, one-on-one on Skype. And and share my forecasting methods that are in my letter. I do Astro, I do Fibonacci, I'm going to teach you about fractals, all these different methods, and I'm going to teach them all to you for free and prove to you that this is a highly successful system. So please get a hold of me right away so I can get you on the list for the next window for classes. Will be in early September. So I only can do about 8 of these a month. And so there we go. Here's my contact info. I'm in Florida, 239-594-3939. There's my email, and Linsky at inparkmail.com, Skype, norm.linsky. Thanks for having me on. I hope everybody has a profitable trading day.
Thank you, Norm.
Thank you.
Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.